And now, some music from Glenn Miller and his truly awful orchestra. Oh, will you turn that racket off? My smokebox hurts. My driver likes it. It's very pretty music, answered Winston. Gordon huffed. It should be on a day like this. Yes, it's days like this that I wish that I could hide in a tunnel, giggled Neil. Whoosh, snorted Henry. Absolutely not. I have to be a fool. In any case, it's a right misery when I'm trying to go fast with the Express. Gordon glanced at Winston. Are you taking the Eagle Express soon? Yes, indeed. I've been told it will have to be at a reduced speed, though. Good. It's a bloody mess out there. I've been stopped 3 times for obstructions on the line, explained Henry. Trees are falling quicker than Vegas can clear them. Be careful, Winston, cautioned Gordon. Winston smiled and whistled a thank you as he steamed off. Soon, Winston was passing through the tunnel with his special lunchtime train, the Eagle Express. The fog was dense and Winston's lamp did little to penetrate it. It had been raining for several days, and by now it had turned into little more than a drizzle and a heavy fog. However, the rain had done its magic and loosened all the soil. Winston rumbled through the junction and over the harbor. It wasn't long, however, before he was forced to stop at a signal box, where Thomas had crashed into a shed once. The signalman walked out to meet him. Please be careful. Todd at the next signal box has reported that Edward has lost a handful of trucks while passing through this section. If you find them, please return them to him at the next station. Yes, sir. Winston seemed off, cautiously.
When you looked at me, it was plain to see blue orchids only bloom in your eyes.
He passed over the fields and found Edward's train sitting at the bottom of a small hill. The guard was happy to see him. Winston pushed the train to the junction where Edward was waiting anxiously. You see, Edward, exclaimed Lily. I told you it would be alright. I knew it would be, Lily. I was just disgruntled that they wouldn't let me get the tail of my own train. It's embarrassing. Edward recomposed himself. Thank you, Winston. I hope this hasn't made you too late. Not at all. I have been heavily delayed already. I might still be able to catch up before I get to the end of the line. I wouldn't bank on that, sighed the station master. James is stalled on the hill. Lily's departing now, and you need to soon, Edward. Winston, can you push him up and over? I don't know, sir. These passengers have been delayed long enough. Let me do it, sir, volunteered Edward. It would be the least that I can do to thank him for grabbing my trucks. We need to get going, Edward, said his driver. There are perishable goods that need to get to the factory. I've got it, sir, assured Winston. I'll push James up the hill. The passengers will just have to forgive me. No, Winston, you don't have to. I think I can manage. You have to bank up enough trains up there anyway, laughed Winston. James was upset. The trucks had pulled him to a stop on the hill, and the sandbox had been emptied trying to get a grip. Finally, after what seemed like ages, Winston arrived and gave a whistle to let James know that he was ready to go. The 2 red engines worked hard, and several of Winston's passengers held their heads out of the windows to watch the spectacle. James gave a sigh of relief as he crested the hill and whistled thank you before coasting down to the next town. Winston flew through the countryside, enjoying the bleak beauty of the rugged interior of Sodor. And he was making a good time. However, as Winston approached the workstation, he saw the station master waving a red flag, forcing him to stop once again. "Oh, what now?" Winston groaned, exasperated. "There's a tree down just beyond the junction. Fergus is almost done clearing it. You'll only be delayed a few minutes." "A few minutes here, a few minutes there. I've been delayed so many times, I can't believe this train hasn't been cancelled yet," fumed Winston. The driver checked his watch and cried out in amazement. "Good glory, we're only 20 minutes late. That is a miracle." "Really?" Winston gasped. "Well, I hope Fergus gets here soon." The driver put the radio back on as they waited. Winston's wish was soon granted as Fergus shuffled by. Winston tore off towards the end of the line. Finally, he pulled into the platform, only 15 minutes late. The passengers thanked Winston and his crew for the smooth run. "We saw how you rescued that train. Well done," they exclaimed. "I did too," said a certain voice, stepping down from one of the coaches. "Sir, what are you doing here?" Winston hadn't known the Fat Controller was on his train. "Ho ho! I had to catch a meeting on the mainland. And I must say, Winston, I'm amazed by your performance. You truly are a very useful engine. It seems your passengers agree too." The passengers were all exclaiming about the impressive run. Winston could only beam.
You ain't no friend of mine.